Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be looking at the latest updates from Joe, the person who claims he knows everything. And he talks about what has happened with Ritus, and says Jay is being moved again. Let's take a look. In these first two posts that Joe put out, he says that everything is sorted with Brandon. Allegedly, he is doing what he has to do, but still has to face Lee Byrne, who is Liam Byrne's son, and apparently D-Person will do whatever Lee says to do with Brandon. So this means that I'm guessing Brandon flew to Egypt, or wherever he was meant to fly to, and that Lee Byrne will decide what happens with him. Do you guys think this could be why Brandon hasn't spoke out once about the Jay Slater situation? Joe also mentions that D-Person is close to being arrested by American police, and he needs to be smart when he next moves Jay. This story is wild and gets worse as we keep looking at updates. It is a hard story to believe, but I don't understand what Joe gets out of making this all up. Apparently, Liam Floody, who is Elaine's nephew, attacked a Spanish guy and Jay saw it happen, and Joe said this attack affects D-Person and that he could go down for it, and he needs to stop people from finding out about it. Also, Ritus apparently got his kneecap smashed in by Viper and two others. Viper is a new name that has been added to the list, and I don't know anything about him. Also, Ritus was told he can't go back to Ireland or Spain, and Joe says that's exactly what happened to Ayub as well. Joe has previously said that Ayub is on the run from these people. The point that stands out the most is that, allegedly, D-Person has spoke to Jay's mom on private calls, and she was shocked. He also pointed out that Jay is not allowed to speak to his mom either. So if this is true, then Debbie should know, or Joe is just lying. It's that simple. Apparently, the phone call didn't go well at all, and that Jay has to be moved very soon. Let's look at the next update that Joe gave us. In the next update that Joe gave us, he talks about the Spanish guy who allegedly got attacked. He says that the Spanish guy was apparently in a family gang from El Tanque, and that it has been almost 4 months since the attack happened, and his family are very angry. He mentions that if the family find out the truth, they will go to England, and that Victor Torres won't be able to stop them. Victor Torres is a Spanish politician, and Joe claims that he allegedly knows all about this situation with Jay but is keeping his mouth shut. But why would the family go to England if they find out the truth? That part doesn't make sense, as apparently all of these guys are from Ireland. In the second post that I'm showing you now, Joe says that Jay is being moved back to Ireland with another 2 people who Joe hasn't talked much about before. I'm guessing he's on about Jay's mom when he says, "Mom has 48 hours to give D-Person an answer, but what does this D-Person actually want?" Joe says that apparently no police can be involved and that D-Person's brother sees everything and is reporting it back to his brother. He then goes on to say that Rasa is sending money to all the people who are involved, which is to keep their mouths shut about the situation. If D-Person's brother sees everything, then surely Joe is playing a very dangerous game, as the people he is talking about are real people, and making a story up that isn't true about them will cause him big problems. Allegedly, everyone has to pretend that Jay fell off the mountain, or D-Person will change his mind, and it won't end well for Jay. What will he change his mind about, though? As Joe has already said before that he isn't letting Jay go. Some cracks are starting to appear, and it is hard to believe this story. Joe gives us a quick update saying that his TikTok account needs to be put on private, and that Ayub, Liam Floody, and Rasa are watching his posts, and it will end bad for the person who is giving Joe this information. If any of this is true, then surely it will end bad for Joe as well, because people know his face and they know that he is the one who is releasing this information to the public. Joe says that there is too much heat on Jay at the moment, but that is obvious as it's one of the most popular cases in the world. Remember, he still needs to prove that he is telling the truth, and people won't believe him until he does that. The final updates that Joe has given us is that he has seen everyone asking him for a picture of Jay still alive to prove that he is telling the truth, and he responds by saying that he isn't actually there with Jay and that he is only a messenger for the person who tells him everything. He claims that the person who is giving him all this information has a nephew, and his nephew was allegedly shot by D person in the past, and that he knows everything there is to know about D person. Allegedly, D person gets proof that Jay is alive every day, because allegedly Jay has tried to escape twice and tried using other people's phones to contact someone. Apparently, Elaine's nephew, who is Liam Floody, is having a big meeting with everyone involved who went to Tenerife to find Jay. He said that Liam needs to get everyone to get their story straight because D person is allegedly having problems with one person in England who is involved in Jay's inquest. So is this why the inquest is taking so long? I know that the process isn't quick, but it has been a long time. Also, whoever is telling Joe this story could just be making him look like an idiot if it isn't true. But if it is proved that Joe is lying and he admits it, then it's obvious the whole story was made up and there is no excuses for him. Joe mentions that D person allegedly isn't asking Jay's mom for money and that it is something else that he wants instead. What could this be? Maybe something that can make her keep quiet about this whole situation? But that will never work. This case is everywhere. Joe promises us that he will find out the exact location of Jay when he gets to Ireland and that people keep telling him to check for Jay. Joe says that he already did that about 8 weeks ago and that someone called Andy was there and that Jay was already gone. He says that he was very lucky that his brother was waiting in the car. So what Joe is saying is that he talks about all these dangerous people and then proceeds to go on a mission to find Jay and put himself in the worst position and then has to escape, instead of just going to the police and giving the location. I don't know what to think, to be honest. Yes, this could definitely be all made up and just for attention. But we will have to wait and see, because some of Joe's posts add up, like the one about Ritus flying out. But they could all be in on it, and we can't believe him until he shows us proof. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will update you as we find out more.